Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Last week we dealt with creating lines from points. Today we are going to advance that series of tutorials by creating polygons from lines. So before you create a polygon, first of all you need to create a closed line figure. And what is a closed line figure? It is a figure that the first point is usually the last point for this kind of figure. Take for instance a rectangle with points A, B, C and D. How do we when do we say that this figure is closing onto itself? Only if point A is the starting point and also point A is also the last point. So it runs from A to B to C to D and then back to A. So first of all we need to know which points are forming a polygon. So you'll open our attribute table, and then once the attribute table is open, you'll see a couple of points that are forming the basketball court. So these are the four corners of that basketball court, number 1 to 4. And then there is also another set of points forming a library block. So each of these points represent the corner of a library. So the four of them, they form the corner, the library itself. So I'm going to start with the basketball court. So you select all the points that form the basketball court. You can preview your selection from the data frame. You see these are all the points that form our basketball court. So once you've selected your points, you need to convert these points into a closed line. How do you do that? Again, you just use the point to line toolset. So click on points to line, select the point features contained in your selection. You can change the name here to points to maybe line 2, line 1 or line and so on. Most important bit here is to ensure that this option for closed line is checked. After you check the option, you can just OK. Wait for the tool to run. After it runs, it will output a new layer. This layer here, it is just taking the name of whatever you assigned in that tool. In this case it is called points to line 2. So after I create this one, I can clear my selection of point features. And after I do that, now I need to convert my closed line figure into a polygon. How do you do that? I use a tool called feature to polygon, this one. If I can't find it from that toolbox, I can always use the search functionality. You come here, type feature to polygon. When you press enter on your keyboard, it will give you a number of results. So this is the tool you're interested in, feature to polygon. So you open it, and then under the data to input, so you'll input your new layer, which is points to line, your closed line figure. Then here we'll just change the name of the layer we want. We'll give it a name. In this case it is a basketball court, so I'm just going to call the new layer basketball court. I'll OK. Once it runs, it outputs a new polygon. So this polygon represents the extent of my basketball court. Once I generate my basketball court or any other polygon, my closed line is no longer of use to me. I can remove it from the table of contents. So what I'm trying, why we do that is just to avoid congestion in your workspace. So you want to work with layers that are relevant to your project. So to remove congestion, you remove those layers that we will no longer be using again. So that one was a basketball court. I also want us to create a library. So first of all, open the attribute table, select all of the corner points of the library, close the attribute table. You see these 4 points highlighted in blue are the points that form my library. So again, I'm going to create a closed line from this set of points. So I'm going to run points to line again. So run points to line, select the layer containing your points. Just going to call it this one. It is just a temporary layer. You can assign whichever name you want. Make sure this one is checked to close, like that, and then OK. And after it runs, it will layer. Table contents, there is a new layer called point features underscore line. So you're going to convert this one now to a polygon, but before you do that, always go to and select whatever you had already selected. So now you can run your feature to polygon. Select the layer you want to convert to polygon. In this case, it is our closed line. We're going to change the name to the name we want. This was the name library, and then OK. Once this tool executes, you will see a new layer representing a library is created, and it will also appear on your table of contents like that. Again, you can remove this when it is no longer of use to us. You can save your data after doing this. So you look at all the features we've created, particularly the lines. It is very difficult to distinguish them because they are assuming the same pattern and also made of the same color. Both of them are green, so it is hard for us to tell which one is a fence, which one is a line, which one is a river, and so on. So in our next class, we are going to learn a couple of things. I think the first one should be lettering or assign labeling. So we'll learn how to label our layers, also how to change colors and assign symbols to our layers. So thank you for your attention and have a good day.